Hooligan history. Hooligan history with the hooligan historian. Uncle Delboy Diablo. Like and subscribe, do things you're supposed to do. Diablo TV, you already know. And there was a historical event in the football hooligan world which happened, has been talked about here on Diablo TV. And this was myself, the indubitable, the intrepid Delboy Diablo, having breakfast with none other than the esteemed personages of the International Hooligan Society. I'm talking about none other than Mr. ANNIS Abraham, aka the Millionaire Hooligan, and Jonathan Evans, aka Evo, Cardiff Soul Crew. Alright? You're looking at videos, everything you see out there, when the stuff was really going on, top firms of all time, UK hooliganism, Soul Crew's up there, baby. Any list you look at, anyone you talk to, and anybody who knows what's up, and now you hear it on the podcast, Jonathan Evans giving you the score about all the London firms and everything else. Check him out, wherever you may find him, Central Club Podcast, elsewhere. Hopefully I'll have him one day on the Diablo TV podcast when I begin. Now then, in a nutshell, I was meant to meet up with ANNIS Abraham and have dinner with him on Thursday night. That was the day I'd done the Stephen Yaxley podcast, the Tommy Robinson podcast, you know, and I was meant to go with him and Colin afterwards. We were invited to go have dinner with ANNIS Abraham, yeah, but you know, I was buzzing. We were all happy. You know, the Stephen Yaxley, he'd left. You know, he gets a steak afterwards. We're supposed to hang out. I ate his steak, but I kept hanging out with the Central Club podcast, so we did well. Happy days. It worked out for everybody, didn't it? I think. It could have been a lot worse if I would have just attacked the geezer straight up and wrecked him. What would happen to me? I was by myself in a foreign country. We didn't know where I was. I was hours away. Those guys did. It was a secret location for me. What would I have done? I would have been in bad shape. Played it the way I did. Bing, bang, bang. So then I fall out with Colin afterwards because we're together. We're talking about the future. I thought everything was good. Until I talked to Dante Hawkins. He put him on the phone. And I told him what happened. And Dante's laughing. I'm telling him the shoot interview version, right? And then the geezer, the Colin, got upset and next thing, I've talked about it before, and he tried me in the damn staircase and tried to get loud with me. I was gonna go into him, and he got scared and put his missus on the phone. Bomb. So then, that being said, I still wanted to meet ANNIS Abraham and go to the dinner. But basically, I messaged him and I said, hey, Mr. Abraham, what's up with the dinner? Still, like, I'd like to still go. I'm not gonna be with Colin though. And he invited me for breakfast the next day with Jonathan Evans. Bomb. That was a mission to try to find where those guys are, but I found them. And like I keep saying in the video, people saying, what do you mean it was meant to be a breakfast? It was only meant to be a breakfast. But once we got in, the first thing they asked me as I walk in, because they heard the Stephen Yaxley, the Tommy Robinson, and the Colin, that the guy beat me up and all this other kind of stuff, and they're looking at me as I walk in, and they're saying to each other, they told me, like, he doesn't have any marks on him. Like, so I sat down, and first they want to know about that. And the first thing he goes, like, you know, without going too, I told him the whole story, but I look at Jonathan Evans, look at ANNIS, and says, if you say you had a fight with another man, and no one has a mark on their face or their hands, and nobody's shirts and nobody's clothes got damaged, you reckon it was a real fight? You know? So we moved on from that soon. ANNIS is a smart guy and a charming guy. So, what are you making money with this? He's asking me all this stuff, and we talk about all kind of stuff. Then we start talking about the hooligan stuff. We had a brilliant breakfast. We start talking about family stuff. We start getting to know each other, and then afterwards, and they're not drinking or doing any drugs, and that set a different example for me to look up to, different than all the other hooligans I hang out with. So anyway, so then next thing is the breakfast is over, and then ANNIS gives me a book. I said, can I have one of your books? He said, sure. He got one of the autograph for me. But then I said, what are you guys gonna do? I want to still hang out, you know, like that. And they said, well, what are you gonna do? I said, I come here to hang out with you guys. So we started. We went to a pub. They didn't drink. I drank. And we started talking about now the stories and a lot of the things that they've talked about in the podcast and on ANNIS Abraham on UK Cash Rules. Big up to Maddie over there, you know what I mean? So a lot of stuff that's elsewhere available, but I didn't know it yet. It's in the book. And he told to me firsthand, we're talking about the Bradford Ointment, we're talking about different firms, Millwall, Chelsea, Swansea Jacks. We're talking about all this stuff I know, mate. And I know all the firms and everything like that. You know, ain't no other American going over there talking about knowing all this knowledge and dressed correctly and everything like that. CP Company jacket and Burberry polo. So anyway, that ended up being like 4 hours in the pub. And I got to know those two guys, and I got a lot of respect from people. Nobody says it to me, but you're on their nuts or something. Look, man, I'm an American, and I was invited by them as established top boys, famous top UK hooligans. People may not like them, they may not like Welsh, they may not like Cardiff, maybe they've been turned over by Soul Crew, may not like Soul Crew, so be it. I was there, you wasn't. Fair play, do what you do. But that breakfast was brilliant, and then the next morning it was Millwall. That's what I booked in around. And at first there was a protest, Bluebirds Unite, protest against the management. So then I went the next day with them, and that's there. And Jonathan Evans, he says, Del, like Cullen was supposed to be filming me at Millwall. I ain't got no time for that, homeboy. You know what I mean? I don't respect him. He tried me. I was gonna wreck him. F him. I don't got nothing against him. He called my girlfriend a melt. He called my missus a melt and message. That's what I got a problem with. But and then he put his missus on the phone with me. Delboy's kicking off on me. And I had to explain it to her. How did that go? Like I said, should be leaving him soon. But so the thing about it is, I said I can't do any more art with that guy. But use him, get your name out there, use his platform. This goes for every hooligan out there, every lad out there, everybody. There's a better podcast in South Wales, and that's a Hurt So Good podcast. You understand? Big Rat TV. Man like Kester One. Good man there. Good boy that one is. Now then, to conclude it, some people